I got my quotes too.
Okay, gem dropper. You heard it here, folks.
Hola Mi Gente! We're back again on another episode of
Raices NYC. And on this episode, we have
Katherine Bahena-Benitez. I am a multidisciplinary artist based in California and Nueva York. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Thank you for being on this episode. You came here to do your short film. How's that going?
Oh my gosh. I love it. I mean, we talked a little bit about it, but I wrote a short film called La Tierra de Sueños, Land of Dreams. It is a story dedicated to immigrants, undocumented, and mixed status people. I wanted to honor my mommy's story when she migrated from Mexico into California. And then, not to compare my story with hers, but I also left home in order to pursue my dreams. And so that was like the essence of mi mami leaving her homeland to pursue her dreams. And so it centers a story of a young woman who has left Mexico and is now pursuing her dreams in Nueva York. And yeah, it's so sacred.
It's crazy to think about how our parents left their homeland and they came here with nothing, literally nothing. And then finding a new job, finding a home. Sometimes they were coming with kids or they were just starting a family too. When you think about it, it's very inspiring also, you know, because you took that journey too. I don't know if you think about it, like if my mom could do it, so can I. And taking that risk also, I'm just like, wow. Like sometimes I feel like we don't understand how strong our parents were. Do you think so?
Yeah. I've always known my parents were super resilient for leaving their homeland, for leaving everything they've ever known. I'm sure people watching this have also probably realized the predicaments that we are currently in with our communities and recognizing that the pursuit of a better life, everyone deserves that. And I know for my parents, they did everything that they could to give my siblings and I the best life possible. But I think about how my mommy and my dad, like they didn't have the opportunity to learn English. You know, my mommy came here in her 30s and almost immediately she became a mommy. And then for 10 years, she focused on raising my siblings and I. So by the time that she was ready to possibly fly, she was in her early 40s. And then she developed a chronic illness. So it's just like all these things of wanting a better life. And then sometimes the universe has different plans. But oh my gosh, I love my parents. They're farm workers. Also working in the fields is a different story in California. I mean, I'm sure people have heard the farmers experiencing forms of harm and sometimes neglect. And I'm like, damn, if I could, I'd give every single farm worker a better life, you know? Everybody deserves that. Yeah.
what part of Mexico were your parents from?
Yeah. My dad is from Guerrero, Quitlapa, and my mom is from Michoacan.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's really crazy because this morning too, I saw that Michoacan and Guerrero are one of the main states right now in Mexico fighting narcotraficantes. It's very harsh environments they're living through right now.
Yeah.
And you know, your parents did that. They migrated for a better future. You mentioned that your mother wasn't able to fulfill her dreams, but I think sometimes things always come around. And I think in a way you are fulfilling your mother's dreams, maybe in just a small part, you know, where, you know, she wasn't able to live that creative side of her and you are not fulfilling that for her possibly.
That's true. That's very true.
You mentioned that your mom used to be an artist for young.
Yes. Well, even in her 20s, like, you know, she played in el coro and she played the guitar. So she was very artistic in the sense that she was expressing herself creatively without realizing that she was. And I tell her now, I'm like, mami, si te doy la guitarra, puedes tocar una canción. She's like, ya se me olvidó. I'm like, no.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, but I'm like, I believe it that if she held the guitar again, she'd be able to remember the strings because I just need to get her guitar.
Muscle memory.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, I think so. Like, you know, she doesn't have a guitar.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I know.
That's
It's
it.
like
By herself.
She'll be like, you know, also you mentioned earlier that you got into the art when you were in college.
Yeah.
So what moment during college that it?
Oh my goodness. It feels like I'm late in the game, even though everybody tells me it's
yeah.
divine timing. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's path is divine in the sense that regardless of whatever age you start, you know, your career in, it's all because of a purpose. I had always been in love with the arts. I had always been in love with film, and I didn't leave that love when I was 12, because that's when it started. I really fell in love with it when I was 12. And then I had no idea where to start, though. How do you, I had no idea. I was like, where do you even start? I'm like, my parents don't speak English. I don't know anyone in the arts. I don't know anything about film. And it wasn't until college where I realized, oh my gosh, there's a major in theater and film and performance and dance and writing. And I have always written. I would always write little poems, sometimes like angry poems, like at the world or whatever. And sometimes when my sisters would argue, I'd be like, roses are red, violets are blue, sibling things. And then it wasn't until college that I began to just test the waters, taking classes here and there. But my focus was in business, and I know.
Look, that's such a different thing. It's such a whole world. It's like that. You find your purpose, you're growing, and you're seeing what you do. But I'm like, wow, business to art.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it ended up making sense because I realized to do this work, and because our communities aren't taught this work, we deserve to know how to manage things in entertainment. And that's when I got my feet wet in the water. I first started doing management, and then I started doing management in theater. And then I started still taking classes throughout of performance classes in acting and writing and in dance. And then I realized, oh, if I ever want to do my own production, it's good that I know about budget, expenses, and contracts and legal stuff. It's so important, and our communities aren't taught that. So in many ways, I feel like the universe was also guiding me to learn some things because I had no idea.
It makes sense. With business, you can go into any different field because you know how to budget, you know how to manage money in order to produce all the creative stuff that you want to do. But what did your parents think of when you said, hey, like, I'm gonna drop business and I'm gonna go live my creative dreams? Because it's a huge 180. And your parents know, they're thinking, okay, now she has her career, she's in business, and then you're like, wait, hold up, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, I mean, I still ended up doing business, and I still ended up doing performance, and of course, I ended up sticking long term with performance and the creative world. My parents were so confused at first. They're like, ¿qué vas a hacer con una carrera así?
I think that's like the common parent answer.
¿Qué vas a hacer? And I was like, ay, pues mami, hay muchas oportunidades, hay muchas cosas que puedo hacer. There are so many things I can do. It's just they were never taught that you can expand within the career. And it's okay because I also feel like they didn't know either. Like, how do you learn these things unless you're involved?
It's the same challenge sometimes we have with everyone. Our parents are usually used to like a job. It's hard labor. Like you get tired from it. Usually it's something you don't like. But the more we grow now, we have so many opportunities. We find out we can love our job. We can enjoy it. We can take the risk. And our parents are still just getting used to it. Do you think it's because they're worried about us?
100%. My gosh. I mean, imagine coming to a new country, wanting the best for your children, and then the main concern is stability, finding foundation in your roots and making sure that there is no continuous diaspora of leaving home, right? And so I feel that it makes sense for my parents and maybe our parents that they want us to have a career that is stable because maybe they grew up with so much instability. And so growing up with such instability, you want your babies to have the best life with good stableness. So I never judged them for it. If anything, I was like, I understood them, but I was patient with them. I was like, eventually they'll come around. And they did, and now they're so happy. My mom helps me with everything. Any idea I have, I ask mi mami, and she's like, mejor hazlo así, o ¿qué piensas de este color? Or, maybe if you hired this person, or, she's become the person I go to with things, and that's where her creativity continues, I think.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
No, it is. It really, really is nice. How many years have you been doing this art stuff too?
I want to say 5 years.
5 years. Okay.
And even then, I took like a break. I went on a hiatus for like a year and a half.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well,
you were recharging.
I was recharging. I was recharging, you got to do what you got to do. We were talking about representation and visibility, and it got to a point where I was so excited about the craft and I was going for it, and I was like in back-to-back opportunities, immersing myself in conservatories, because sometimes conservatories can be that source of fuel and training if you don't have it. And then I think I just got like, me desilusioné. I got disillusioned in recognizing that I was the only one in the room sometimes. I was speaking up and it was hard. I felt my voice to be heard. I needed to step away for a little bit. And then during that time, I just got closer to my mom. I got closer to mis raíces. I did other things, not necessarily that I left the craft completely, but I ended up immersing myself in understanding the history of the art and understanding my place in the world. What do I really want to say? How do I feel about integrating mi mami, my parents, my family in this craft? But it was challenging. And now, after my hiatus, I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready because now I know who I am. I think brown femmes aren't taught who they are. And I feel like their power is sometimes stripped away from them. And I feel that my power, my voice, I was losing it. It was getting muffled in other places and other people's ideas of what brown femininity means. And I got to a point where I was like, I can reclaim it and I can make it mine. And now I know why I'm here. I got lost. Me perdí, but I'm back. I'm back.
Well, what does brown femininity mean to you, though?
Yeah.
What did you find out that?
It's beautiful, that it's powerful, that there's an unapologetic essence about, you know, the brown femme experience. I think about mi mami, who's a curandera too, and recognizing that there's a lot of strength in history and in ancestry, and it's things that others may seem taboo. They're like, what is curandismo? What do you mean hierbas can help you? What do you mean that there's like limpias? A cleanse could like get rid of el mal ojo, right? Not everybody knows that ancestral practices are divine and they are ceremonies and rituals that have been passed on for many, many years, that have survived so many moments of harm, and they continue to be here. And I think I got lost with this idea of like, maybe it's not good, or maybe we don't need it. And then I was like, okay, I'm getting lost on who I am supposed to be. And then coming back to my raíces, I realized there's so much power in us that I think maybe wants to be stripped away. And there's nothing wrong with our indigenous features. There's nothing wrong with our trenzas. There's nothing wrong with our beadwork, with our brown skin. There's nothing wrong with it. If anything, there's so much power. And so that's why I feel like the brown femme experience is so divine, but also the brown experience in general.
I think too, it's like, you know, you grow up in this brown body, you grow up in this brown culture, and so it just becomes the norm to you. Right? But you have to sit back and realize that you are different, and even our culture, curanderos and all of that, that's something that the regular person does not know, but we do. That's like something that that's kind of like our norm. But there's people who just don't even realize or don't even like believe in it, or have never heard of it. And so for you to celebrate that, expose that in a way as well, where it's like, you know, this should be celebrated, this should be talked about more. It puts a spotlight on it. And I'm glad you're doing that for your community and, you know, all the other brown girls out there.
I know. Oh, little cuties.
And little brown boys too.
And little brown boys too.
Oh my god, so cute.
You heard that?
I know.
He's surprised. That's why he's
I know. He's like,
I feel like now, because of social media, we have more representation. I always say brown is beautiful, especially growing up here, always feeling like a minority. Like, you know, not everyone feeling proud of being brown. And finally going back to Mexico, I realized, whoa, this is all we have. This is what we've done. This is the musician, the art, and all of that too. Thank you to social media. Now people see it like, whoa, you know, 100%. This is what we have. Do you feel like the same way too?
Yeah. Oh, yes, 100%.
Do you ever have people also coming to you like, oh, like, you know, I love what you do, or hey, like, you know,
like I saw you on Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, how does it feel when like these people come up to you like kind of celebrating?
I know. I mean, it's such a dream because I keep saying this, like, I do what I do for us because I know when I am no longer here, my work will be what they have. And so I just feel so overjoyed and so overwhelmed knowing that my work is touching people's lives while I'm alive. You know, I'm like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. You know, like, I wish our ancestors would have had that experience. Oh my gosh, if I could have just told them, you did so much. Thank you, Talaso Kamati, por todo lo que hicieron, you know, in the midst of experiencing so much violence, you all were resilient in making sure that nuestras costumbres, nuestras tradiciones continúen. And so I feel that even though I am who I am, I feel at times that I am also just a vessel of truth, and that the ancestors just placed me on this earth to be another embodiment of what they couldn't always say before. When people coming up to me, I'm all like, it's me, yes, but also it's creator, it's ancestors. We met divinely through social media for a reason, but it was all through the divinity of nuestros antepasados that made it happen too.
I always tell Julio and like all of my friends too. I said it in a previous podcast with Van, Semillas de Nopal, shout outs. She was talking about embroidery, and I was telling her all the work that you do, anything that you do. I always say that you are your ancestors' wildest dreams, right? Because again, you carry them with you. Yes, they may have passed, their journey was done, but in a way, you still carry them with you. They're still living through you in a way as well. And so, with anything that I do or anything that someone does, I always say, you know, you are living your ancestors' wildest dreams. Because who would have thought that your grandmother, your great grandmother, living in a small pueblo de Michoacan would have been like, what? Like, my great granddaughter is gonna be out there on the stage in New York. Like, what? It's the wildest dreams that they would have never thought of, right?
That makes me so emotional. I'm getting teary-eyed.
I am. No, but it's true. And, you know, congratulations to you for putting your work out there, taking that risk of putting our culture out there on the screen, on stage, and, you know, doing it. You know, congrats to you.
Thank you. I really felt the ancestors here. Everything's divine, and sometimes I think I'm here because of them, but my goodness, they are so powerful in making things happen too.
Like the moment like you came in and we all talked and talking about like the stuff we were doing, you definitely sense that energy and creativity. I feel it feels heavy too, and I'm just like, wow, like because you share the same thing, you share like the same story, the history, you understand each other. Same thing with our galleries. Everyone talks about like their art, and they talk about how they did this and they do that, and I'm just like watching. I'm like, whoa. It's like wow. It's like it really is amazing. It's just everything slows down for a bit. And you're like, wow. Like, this
feels like an out of body experience where you're like, whoa, everything's happening and it's what we dreamt of, but I can't even imagine what our ancestors dreamt of. I'm sure they couldn't even fathom, right? They probably thought that, you know, maybe it ended with them, but no, it continues with us.
I don't know if you ever have moments where when you first started, you're like, oh, I want to do this and that. But then you're finally doing all of that. But you don't think about it until you stop. You're like, wait, whoa. I'm actually here where I want to be right now, where I wanted to be last time. But actually, I have another goal because, you know, you keep progressing. You're always looking to the future. So I'm like, so I already did this, but when like a couple months ago, I really wanted to do this. But right now, I want to do something else.
I did want to ask, what's the goal maybe for the end of the year or for the future? What's your plans that you would like to see fruition?
It would be to just continue writing, continue performing, continue sharing our stories, doing beautiful things such as these so that our stories are remembered and archived digitally, to just continue being that vessel, to not get lost. I think maybe the intention is for us to not, succeed. But I'm like, oh, we will.
It's gonna be on Broadway at the end of the year. Watch out.
That's the dream.
We had a segment that we like to call Spooky Story Time, Paranormal Activity. What's like the most like memorable spooky story that you're just like, whoa?
Oh my god.
That you would like to tell?
Oh my goodness. People who don't know our cultura would probably be like, damn, y'all believe in espíritus and stuff like that. Like, we do.
We really do.
We really do. I think it's just a cultural thing. Also, I feel that there's something that maybe makes us a lot closer to the afterlife, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just nuestras tradiciones, ¿verdad? What we do, even like Dia de Muertos, right? It just makes us a lot closer to that. But I guess the first thing that comes to mind, talking about Mexico, I remember when I returned to Mexico, I was sleeping in my tia's room, which was connected to another room, right? And so it was like my sisters and I in one room, my parents in the other room. And then every time El Gallo que cantaba in the mornings, I could hear it, and then I could also feel like a breeze of sound coming from one side of the room to the end of the room, but it was always saying my name. It was like a breeze of sound, and it was just like, Kathy. And I remember just thinking,
chills.
I know. And it was like, era la madrugada, what, like 4 in the morning? And I remember thinking, oh no, like, somebody's here for me.
Oh shit! It's my time.
It's not.
That's like scary.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
I
scary.
got chills. I got chills.
Yeah.
Can you imagine hearing that?
Yeah,
Like,
no.
Yeah. Little brown girl, come with me.
Oh my god.
Vámonos. That's hilarious.
Yo.
Spooky season. Oh my god, wait, let me hold him. So cutie.
But that would happen
Yes.
to you like every morning while you were there.
Yeah. I'm like, I need emotional support.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it was traumatizing. I'm like, what is it? I go into a different. It was a scary time.
It was a scary time. That was one of the most memorable.
Yeah, I was. Pero también estaba chiquita.
Yeah,
I think children are more prone to that experience because son bien inocentes, and sometimes they gravitate different things.
No,
And
yeah.
yeah, I was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. No, yeah. If you remember it, then it must have been like something.
It was
'Cause
no,
kids too.
Yeah. I mean, I was sweating.
Yeah.
I remember, and then being under the covers and being like, yeah, I was like, ¿Quién me? I know it's not mommy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up finding out that my abuelita used to live in that house, and my abuelita passed in that house. And then I was also told that when I was very little, I used to speak to someone. I remember my mommy telling me, "Me dijiste que te visitó tu abuelita."
No way.
And
What?
yeah.
That's crazy.
And I don't remember that, but that's why I also feel very in tune with like ancestors and creators and the feminine power, because mi mami, mi abuelita, mi tatarabuela. Yeah.
These stories keep getting crazier. I don't know if I like spooky stories.
Not spooky season.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. I just feel like also like our people are just more connected too.
Yeah.
Because, well, I always like saying like in my room,
Yeah.
there's always something happening, but I never hear it. But all my family members like, yeah, we always hear someone playing in your room. One of my my cousin's boyfriend, he was like, we were talking, and then he got shook because he was like, dude, I'm like, and I'm talking to him, I'm like, what happened? I just saw something walk into your room just right now. And I'm like, really? And that's crazy. And then I'm like, but I'm not scared. I'm like, because I'm already, I know there's always something. And they're like, you, and I'm like, are you okay? I just literally saw someone just walk into your room. I'm like, okay.
That's so wild.
And they're like, and for also my uncle, he took a nap in my room, and he's like, I felt someone touch my chest. I'm like, and you don't, I'm like, you don't feel nothing? I'm like, I really don't. It's like, that's it. So I go into my room though, and I just see my puppet laying on the bed like that. Not that puppet, another puppet.
I was like, ¿Qué pasó?
I have the original puppet, but
like this.
What I
he's levitating.
But what I say too is like, I feel like I always have like this positive thing that I feel like my puppets just protect me.
Yeah.
Like even for like bad energy and all of that too. Just because maybe or the ghost just me tiene lástima. He's like, he's too tired already. Let me not. That was scary, spooky story time. This is all based on true stories.
Based on a true story, yeah.
Oh, we always have those tough moments in our lives. You know, say we didn't have a good day, things were just going wrong. You know, what do you remind yourself of to keep going and just be like, you know what, today is not the day, tomorrow will be better?
I'm such a like affirmation girl.
Okay.
Where I will sit down and just talk to myself, which may sound spooky, but no. Yeah, I think affirmations are a beautiful way of reminding yourself to come back to your center. And I always remind myself, I will be okay. Everything will be okay. And things happen the way that they need to. And I know that I am divinely protected and guided. Ancestors are always by my side. I'll be all right. And so that's what keeps me grounded and focused. And like, no importa lo que pasó, mañana sería otro día. Yo me siento bien porque estoy protegida.
Wow. Okay. That ending. That okay. Yo. I thought I was the one with quotes, but
like, okay, poet.
All right. Okay.
Writer.
Thank you again, and also like sharing like everything you've been doing. I feel like everyone needs to hear this. Everyone needs to hear your story. There's always going to be someone that sometimes they're in the same place or they don't know where to start because there's no instructions on how to begin. There's no book, there's no nothing. But watching people like us be like, okay, they did it like this, so I could just start. The best way is just going ahead and start. You're gonna fail, and there's always gonna be more lows, but the ups are more memorable. I don't know if you agree with me too.
I agree.
I got my quotes too.
Okay, gem dropper. My God.
She's like, hold up, I got it right now.
Bravo, bravo. We do a battle. We're like, who could do?
Yeah,
who could do better?
What would you tell your younger self? You know, maybe middle school and high school is tough right now, but
Yeah,
we're gonna be okay in the future. What would you tell her, or any other younger girl out there?
Yeah, I would say nunca pagues tu luz. Don't dim your light. Not for anybody. Not because of fear. Just do it. You know, I think that's you're like, what else am I gonna say? Like, I already see the carita like. You're gonna zoom in on that one.
That was good. That was
good. Back into better.
Yeah, never dim your light. She were saying that was like, oh.
Yeah, I think that's the power. Never dim your light. Because I was very shy growing up. Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Y'all are shy.
What?
Spooky. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I was really shy. Yo no decía nada. Yo me quedaba bien calladita. Y I would just write and just do my work and not speak to anybody. Pero luego empecé como a desarrollarme. I always knew, like, behind closed doors, my family era bien como bromista, bien sociable, bien risueña. But at school and with people, I was like, I don't know. And then I think that, I don't know, just stopped me from being in my light sooner. You know, I think, again, brown girls, brown boys, brown babies aren't taught to take up space. And so if I could tell little me, I'm like, you can speak up, you can say something. O sea, tu voz es importante. Take the mic, you know? I would tell her that. And I would say it to anybody else too, the little ones.
Wow, no, that's really powerful because for Julio and other people who we've interviewed, and especially for me growing up, I was super little. Like I was very outgoing. I would talk to everybody, but I don't know. I think something always like switches in us, whether it's like around that puberty age. The real world comes for our innocence, and we do dim our light.
Yeah.
Right? We were taught to, don't say anything, just be quiet, or no des lata. And it's sad. It's sad that thing that happened to us growing up. But I think in a way we come back to it, right? Where it's like, all right now you're gonna go through your struggle, but you're gonna find yourself later on. You're gonna find your light, your voice, your personality, and your purpose. And I think you've done that very well. This is only the beginning, and I can really see it just for you, where it's like this is only just a small piece of what you have to offer the world, and it's just gonna get bigger and better for you.
Oh, you're my drop. I receive it. Lo recibo con amor. Muchas gracias.
Yeah, thank you again. And it's just so crazy again because we met 2 years ago, just one time, and now we're back again. Universe, like, it always works when you're ready. Universe sees it, and they're like, okay. They're ready. Let's go back to see that. First.
Okay. My job.
That's what was not even trying. You got your loose.
You got
I got the
flowing.
But on that great note, we're done.
Yes. Thank you for having me.